Good evening. It is evening, isn't it? Feels like evening. Is it night or just evening? Oh, I didn't even check to see if the mic was in the shot, but it's not. But it is closer to my mouth hole. Hey, everybody. So before let's see who's here. Darla and Denise and Mark and Albert. Albert, you're early. T. Underhill. Yeah, hit the like button so people will find out about this wonderful chat. Thank you, T. That sounded so much like you were my shill, and I appreciate that. Does anything look different? It's too subtle, I think. Mark and Denise and blah, 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 and Bill. Thanks for tuning in. So I ordered some groceries from Food Lion, our local, little less expensive. We have Trader Joe's, we have Harris Teeter, we have Whole Foods, we have, but the closest and least expensive of all the options is Food Lion, and they're doing online orders using Instacart, I guess. I don't know if that's just, is Instacart just the online shopping experience, or does it have something to do with delivery? Now that I realize it, it sounds like it's probably just the online shopping deal. Bill, am I not as well lit? You know, it does look a little dim. I turned down, you know what, let me do something. Let me turn a little light up. I did, hang on. Was that, oh, watch out for that shadow. Is that noticeably different from what I was just a second ago? I'm curious. But, no, I ordered a second light. I actually have two red lights on that background, but I don't think it's redder. You know, I have the tunable lights. I don't think it's noticeable. I just turned it on a couple minutes ago and set them at the same. There's a pretty severe shadow under the pictures. But it's really not as different looking as I want it to be. I don't even look that much redder back here. Maybe a little. Get that shadow out of the shot. Susan's making cinnamon rolls. Wow, you have such a good life. So here's the deal though. I ordered groceries and tomorrow's not a good day. I've got a bunch of things going on tomorrow. So I chose a delivery time. It said within 2 hours. So it's like, great. And it was supposed to be delivered by like 8 or 9 or something. And then I got one email that said it was pushed back. And now I've just gotten a second text and email. Oh my God, now I have no. There was an option when you went through whether you could choose to let them substitute products that they don't have. And I think I deselected it on all of them because it's like, I want these. No, I don't want some substitute. This is, if it's not that, oh my God. So I've gotten a series of anyway, the delivery's supposed to come between 10:45 and 11:15. And I don't know. A few things need to be refrigerated for sure. They won't come early. They've already pushed it back a couple times. High demand, running behind. So now 9:45 to 10:15. Then it became 10:45 to 11:15. Then I got a message that Jonna B just started shopping. And now, this isn't going to work. They're substituting almost everything I ordered for something else. And I'm pretty sure I said not to, and there's not a substitute for these things. They don't have a substitute product. that's satisfying. What do? I don't even think I can stop it. Hold on. Can I stop it? I think it's too late. Damn it. This isn't going to be good. The things they're substituting, they don't have similar. I chose those products for a reason because I didn't like the other options. Yeah, on Raleigh Boulevard, that's the one. Read. I changed the color of the moon. It has two colors. It's unfortunate that it just looks a little overexposed because it looks so much cooler. So I tend to go with the more subtle color, because otherwise it looks a little overexposed. But look how red my Joey book is. Hey, since you're all gathered here, here's one thing I prepared. I get some statistics from Restream, and one of the ones is the top chatters. We've talked about this before, I think, but have I pulled them up before? Because this was, here's the top 8 or 9 chatters from last night. And it's across all the platforms, but of course, you're here on YouTube. But Darla the Darling with 41 messages, and NetReamer close behind with 37, dropping down to Albert at 30. Science the Optimist moving up with 18. Susan with 14. Now, if you want to, technically Albert and Susan, 44, their household has the most messages if you allow them to team up. Mark with 14, Denise with 12, Kimberly sliding in there with 11. And those are last night's top chatters. We should have a theme song. Fireworks. Other stuff. Sam made a little version of me over here. Yeah. Ashley Morris, here's my first message. Hi. Is that it? Hi. Everyone say hi to Ashley. There you go. Darla already has. Oh, Darla, is that your friend, Ashley? Darla, thanks for the pointer to the Aristocrats yesterday. I watched some and enjoyed learning about this joke, but I only got about 15 minutes in. Said NetReamer, David, in the end, it's a good documentary, and it's not just about that joke. You'll end up hearing a lot of comedians just talk about the comedy process, and it's kind of interesting. I like it. I know the people that made it. In fact, my friend, I'm not stuttering when I say this, but my friend Emery, I think his first name and last name are Emery, and he's a comedian and editor and producer. And in fact, I've referenced this once before. I'm in a documentary that he and some other people are making, but he's the guy that edited the Aristocrats. And now he and this guy Brian Dunning, who's well known in skeptic circles, are producing a documentary about, well, it's about science communication. It's about science television shows, the ones that are on some of the science and history channels that, what's passing for science programming sometimes that's the opposite of. And so it's kind of a critical documentary about that kind of stuff. And I feature in it because I've been in a show like that. And I talked about my experience. So my friend Emery, he's actually Emery the third. I think the third, not the second. His father and grandfather are named Emery. So David, that's a cool documentary. Put one low and behind you. Yeah, I could try that. Right now they're both shining down. But the thing is, well, I don't know if I easily can. I've got a system for them to be attached up there. And anyway, this section that I really need lit from here to here is closer to them up there. I don't know. I could try. But they're up there. I have them I have a system I may have described before with there's some metal plates up there, and with magnets I can put the lights where I want them. I have a bunch of locations where I can put them. Not the entire ceiling, though. Tom Turbeville there. Tom, are you going to behave tonight? I see you made it over to YouTube. You sure got mad and left in a huff last night. We'll have none of that here. But yeah, that's Joey looking over my shoulder. He's looking a little red, but he's in the afterlife. Death will do that to you. Westworld episode 3 was fire. Hey Mark, I didn't get to it. Aren't there now 3 and 4 out now? I didn't get to it. It turns out. Yeah. So I have a lot of binging still to come. Oh my God, they're substituting. How are they going to handle this? They're substituting almost everything I ordered with a different product. And I know that they don't have different options of some of these things. So it's just going to be next guess. You ordered a steak. Here's a potato. What are they gonna do? I said bring a friend. Thank you. Darla brought a friend. Who else brought a new friend to the show? This isn't a show. Let's not even, whoa. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So just let me know if the video quality drops, or how is the crispness of it. I think it is a little lower than before, but we're at a reasonably high bit rate right now. But here's the thing. NetReamer, are you out there? I saw a part of the stream. It seems to have maintained sync pretty well on most of the platforms. But there was a part of where content was missing, where there was like an edit point. There was a part where I don't know how much is missing, but maybe that part where it froze up. I didn't check the locally recorded version. Ooh, I wonder if the locally recorded version is longer than one of the versions that's online, because something was missing on YouTube, and that's all I got to say about that. Something was in fact missing. Jay Kogan was in that. Lynn's hubby. What film? I'm sorry. What? Westworld, or what was a great film? Okay, I'll go back to the movie. I had worried that 75 more minutes of variations on the joke, and in the end, I'd be the sucker. There will be more variations on the joke, I'm sure. I haven't seen it in a long time. I saw it when it first came out, so whatever year. I saw it premiere at South by Southwest. I happened to be back in Austin at the time, and then these friends of mine, because Emery edited it, but a guy that I'm friends with him, but the main creative force behind the movie was Paul Provenza, who those couple days I got to hang out with a little bit. But Mark says, that Dolores, such a minx. Ooh, can't wait to catch up. Never saw Bob Saget as the TV dad, so he's just fine as a comedian for me. You never really saw him? Did you? Because he ended up hosting America's Funniest Home Videos, and he was on Full House. And those were very different from his stand-up comedy persona, which was way dirtier and edgier. Oh my God, what is she replacing now? I'm pretty sure on the order I said don't replace anything. You guys aren't giving me any. Oh, I could refuse it on delivery. But I have to at least see what they replaced. It's all going to be in bags, and at some point they might say she's on her way or something, but I don't want to refuse it. I want most of the stuff that's in it, but there's no way I'm going to want some of the things they're substituting. So like this may seem minor, but there's this kind of nut milk that it says like protein nut milk, and it has 10 grams of protein in each serving, because regular milk has a lot of stuff in it. But almond milk, if you want to go the non-dairy route, and I go back and forth, but almond milk has like nothing in it. If you look, there's no protein, there's no fat, there's hardly any carbs. It's nothing. But this nut milk is partially almond and partially cashew, and whatever reason, it at least has. So I feel like, well, if I'm going to drink that stuff, at least it has 10 grams of protein in it. And so I know that they're going to substitute. Like the only reason I already have some of the other crap. One of the only reasons I ordered Food Lion, because I was like, I want to get some more of that. Oh my God, we have 2 more texts. What's it gonna be? Oh, Gianna, what are you doing now? Oh, well, that's interesting. I ordered 1 bottle of wine, and she refunded that. Every one of these others, all the other messages say, oh, I ordered toilet paper and that got refunded. Probably because I ordered Charmin. Was there a run on Charmin? I figured that I've had toilet paper from the beginning, but I never stocked up on it. So I tried to and I only ordered 1 thing of it. It had 10,000 rolls, but no, I think it had like 6 rolls. But they do that thing where it says times 4. It's the equivalent of 24 rolls. All right. Order things you hate, and then they'll substitute things you like. Thank you, Albert. Checkmate. So either they'll substitute it with another brand or give you nothing. Yeah. Have no friends. Michael Gar, is that like, I asked everyone to send me information to make them a lower third. So I'll put that on yours, Michael. Has no friends. I think you got the grammar wrong. Has no friends. Michael Gar, you better get over here to YouTube. How many times do I have to ask you? Ash, every time Brian talks about sync or connection issues, you have to drink. Ash, do you have something to drink? I don't want to. Oh my God. So you know what else I tried to order? I thought if it was there, so I don't have any hand sanitizer either. And they had little mini ones for $1. So I ordered a few. Refunded. I mean, I should have known they didn't have it. I was surprised, but that's why I said, well, let me get a couple hand sanitizer so I can have in the car when I go out amongst you people, which I am not doing. I am not doing that. I do think I better take my car for a ride soon. Because the last time, I have to go to the bank anyway. The last time I got in it, the battery was dead. A neighbor gave me a jump. I had to go buy a new battery, and then the apocalypse really set in. It was already on a little bit, I remember. Was a little self-conscious of everything then. Oh, but geez, they refunded that. They replaced. Now, do they replace at the same price? When they replace something, do they replace at the same price? Because I bought their generic brand Food Lion paper towels, and they've replaced them. But I got some extra thin sliced provolone cheese, and I don't think they have a replacement for that, liar. Food Lion string cheese, regular bag. She replaced it. Are you as excited as I am to find out what the hell they've replaced all my choices with? I saw America's Funniest Home Video more than I saw the other. I just was aware of Full House. I'll drink water. I can't drink alcohol at the moment. Okay. Are you driving, Ashley? Oh, wouldn't review. We've dropped no frames. And are we in sync? Last night, and it may have been because of this little, oh shit. Is it blurry? Did we just get a little period of blurriness or even drop out? The bit rate dropped really low. 1,700, 1,800. Now it's up to 2,000. Because I allowed for this dynamic in response to, it's probably because so many people are using the internet that we're all going to have worse signals for a while. You didn't know cashews had a teat? They're mammals, so obviously they do. They have hair and they have mammary glands. You have to be in line at the store when it opens to have a chance at toilet paper. Darla, they have an apple too. They have an apple too? They need to have a Jewish mother shop for you. Oh no, you don't need that. I lucked out, Denise says, and found half a pack of Charmin today. I could not believe it. I've been searching for weeks. You know, it wasn't that bad. I haven't been to the store in a while, but I think I forgot to even look for toilet paper that time. But everything else I wanted was there. Oh. Penile Polyps says, I am racist. Oh, is that your lower third? Is that you, Mike? No, Mike, that's not much like you to call yourself penile polyps. You're sick? Oh, Ashley is sick. Sick with what, Ashley? You're going to infect. You shouldn't be meeting in groups like this. And you get invited to a fireside chat. If you're sick, you shouldn't have come. God, we probably all have it now. Thanks, Ashley. If that is your real name. Oh, great. No, nothing new. But COVID and alcohol. Okay, so what's new? There were a couple things in the new. Oh, the Prime Minister of England, Boris Johnson, moved into. I have an inappropriately big smile on my face, but it is exciting when these things happen, where we need some people to take this seriously. So he moved into ICU. He's sicker. I saw some terrible story about an older couple that died. And I saw, Albert, what was the story you posted on Facebook? There was a woman who, big hating on the Democrats. They tried to impeach Trump with bullshit. And now this whole thing, she even related it somehow to socialism, that this virus scare was pure bull, and they're purposely trying to tank the economy, and something about socialism, and they want us to stay inside, and it's all fake, and well, she got it, and she died. So I'm not really smiling at that, even if it may look like I am, but Jesus Christ. I don't know. Mark, I expect the shit-eating grin from Albert on Boris' demise, not you. Yeah, I mean, I don't want, hey, Science-y Optimist, is your Boris Johnson glee guilty pleasure? No, you know, I don't even know him well enough. What I really hate about some of our Republican politicians is that I don't hate much. I don't hate people very often. It's just like I let it go. But they make me hate, and I hate them for that. I hate them even more. I hate them, I don't hate myself for loving you. I hate them for making me hate them so much. Pisses me off. Yeah, so Boris tickled the ass of that dragon. So Science the Optimist, if you saw my Facebook page, the Science the Optimist, my friend Aaron, made a video that I shared on my Facebook page because it's really good. He does a visual interpretive dance. Aaron, is any of that real sign language? You said something enigmatic in the comments, in the description, that leads me to believe that it wasn't all sign language, but maybe part sign language, part interpretive dance to the Rose. And was that Bette Midler singing? Who was that? The Rose by Bette Midler. Okay, but didn't you say something like, were you just saying that the real person that signs is just better at it than you, not that you weren't really doing it. But even some of it was kind of subtle, like during parts, they still seemed like they were appropriate, but they weren't entire sentences. I feel like they missed some of the lyrics. Like if they're judging who, I don't know who wrote that song, or if Bette Midler even wrote it. Who did she write it, or was she ever a songwriter or just a vocalist? Yeah. But I like the way you brought it to life really well. Your facial expressions and your movements were very cool. So I found it very moving. I was moved. I found it so moving, it moved me. I was moved from one place to another. I was not in the same place at the end of that song as I was at the beginning of that song. I had been moved. I have been moved. You moved me. Stop it. Sign is not English. That's true, but it's a translation, eh? I threw a little Canadian in there for you. Since I'm trying to show you my language skills, I'm a little bit of a linguist. I'm a little bit of a philatelist. Sounds good, but it's a totally wrong word. You all know what that is, right? I'm pretty sure she just sang it too. Who wrote The Rose? The Dark Tower was written by Stephen King in 1982. Thank you, Siri. Netreamer, can we talk about how magical our technology is again now? I was reading your texts from last night, and I think it's a great topic for us to discuss if you're still there. Are you there, David? Come in, David. I just asked Siri who wrote The Rose, and she told me The Dark Tower was written by Stephen King. Let's try it. Maybe I didn't enunciate. Hey, Siri, who wrote The Rose?
Stephen King wrote The Dark Tower in 1982.
Yes, but now, who wrote The Rose? Siri, please, could you tell me, for the love of God, who wrote the song The Rose?
Here's what I found.
Okay. Was a classic pop song written by Amanda McBroom. I thought I had very low hopes for that working because I threw in that extra verbiage, for the love of God. And it's like, for some reason, maybe she finally, how important it was got through to her through my tone and my taking the Lord's name in vain. Single by Amanda McBroom, made famous by Bette Midler, and made famous again by Aaron Freeman, the sciencey optimist. Whoa, we've already had 100 messages today with Restream Chat. Oh, David, listening but not watching for a while. David, I didn't read yet how Shazam works, but that is magic. You know what? I don't downplay. Oh my God, when even the idea that two things, even before Shazam, the idea that you could just look up with the internet and mobile devices, that you could just look up the lyrics to any song, just within reason, not any song, but almost any song you hear, you could go, oh, what are the lyrics? Boom, and they're there. And then with Shazam, or just like you can think of a song, and I subscribe to Spotify, you could be driving on the highway, not even near a city, and just listen to any song you want, even though it's not on my device, but I can pull it from the clouds. And you hear a song and you hold your phone up to it and it identifies it. Yeah, those are all sufficiently advanced technology that would appear to be indistinguishable from magic, to coin a phrase. That almost sounds good. Someone should write that down. Somebody did. What's going on here? Bingo, that's correct. Siri has nothing. I need to. Every signer does interpret. That's why they call them interpreters, right? You're welcome for the plug. The rabbis say every translation is a commentary. Yeah, I like that. You know what? One time in college, probably my freshman year, I had this great English teacher. In fact, whoever remarked that oh no, hang on, Food Lion's on the way. Delivery estimate is in 20 minutes. If it's actually coming from Food Lion right there, it's going to be less than 20 minutes. How should we handle this? Should we end the stream and I should go do that and we'll call it a night, an early night? Or I should have prepared something longer for you to watch. But NetReamer, I have some more of that. Yeah, Shazam is great. You can find songs off commercials. I can't, because, you know, I can't bring you with me. I can bring the comments, but I just can't bring the camera and the computer and everything that's attached. Now, you know, ultimately this should be multi-camera. And there are ways to get a signal, like one camera might be a phone, or maybe anyway, some wireless phone. Food Lion's on the way. I know, you already told me that. End with a bang. Mirrors, lots of mirrors. Because I thought, just in case I can't get out of here without mentioning our sponsor, String Cheese. What are they going to substitute? Are they going to substitute some other shaped cheese? And am I going to be satisfied with that? You can't just give me a block of cheddar. Excuse me. I don't care if it is 16 ounces. I ordered string cheese. And it's not just the cheese, it's the form factor. Yes, it does matter, Miss Jonna. Jonna. Didn't I say don't substitute? There'll be several different Food Lion deliveries. Oh my God. Kite string theory, yes. If you like kites and you like anything that comes out of the nipple of a bovine, then you're gonna love new string cheese. Maybe I could play you, maybe when they come, I play you this. Some of you may have heard it before, but it's probably about a 3-minute clip of me talking to Alan Stern, the head of New Horizons. There are actually 2 clips. I wish they could roll right into each other. And they probably can, but I haven't set that up, and I don't know how to. So it's it's not unprofessional to eat on my show, because this isn't a show, first of all. Let's get that out of the way right now. But also because I'm eating the cheese of my sponsor, the cheese of my people. So, it must be professional. They're the sponsor, and I am giving a product demo. NetReamer, if I could put it in terms that maybe you would understand, it's a product demo. I'm not just eating, I'm demonstrating proper technique, form. Denise, is Westworld a remake of the old one? It is. And they credit, I don't know if everyone knows, the original Westworld, written and directed by Michael Crichton. Written and directed by Michael Crichton. And he wrote Jurassic Park, that Steven Spielberg adapted into a movie. He didn't write this. I don't know what he had to do with the screenplay, if anything, but Michael Crichton invented the concept of Westworld and the concept of Jurassic Park. 2 theme parks that depend on some science fiction or fantasy premise. I say that in deference to you, David. If we ever had the ability to clone dinosaurs like that from blood from something, like somehow if we could bring back dinosaurs, don't you think a place like that would come to exist? Of course it would. And then if we had robots to that level of, what's one of the words I'm looking for? If we could make robots that good, we'd probably have something like Westworld as well. Theme parks like that. And so, strong cheese, string cheese. Yeah, so the sound effects on this non-show are amazeballs. Oh, were you really getting some sound effects? Yeah. You ordered string cheese, but we bought you kite string. Oh, is that what you were saying before, Albert? When you said kite string, that's what they're gonna bring me instead of string cheese? Anyway, the new series is a remake, but it's very different. Yul Brynner is not in it. It's very different. It's like the old Westworld meets Philip K. Dick, which if you don't, it's like, it's trippier and weirder. So there's certain thing it has in common, but then it's so different. And they've done, this is the 3rd season, and it's about 3 or 4 episodes in. They need a story called Almost What You Wanted. I think I lost one thing about string cheese, but this happens with other cheeses too. I may have lost a small piece of it. You're not supposed to eat in the studio. Oh yeah, it's on HBO, by the way. 2 or 3 in a row references to the other HBO show, Game of Thrones. Who's watching Westworld and remembers in episode 2? One was really obvious, and the others were a little less. Oops, I froze. It's a weird time to be freezing because the bit rate is like 3,400, 3,700. Damn. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Okay, I'm back. I am back. What was the last thing I said? Because I don't know. What was the last thing I said? Does anyone know? That food's about to come. I could have frozen and gone. I'll bet if I play you one of the, I wonder which one, I can't even tell from here, which one of those clips is longer. It really, if I queued up, oh, is there anybody out there? Darla, can you hear me? It was about Westworld that, I don't know which part though. Whoever's watching, did you see in the 2nd episode this season, there were a couple references to Game of Thrones, that other HBO show. And one was pretty interesting. I mean, the 3rd one was just after you'd already seen these other 2 references. I think there was someone like dressed as a knight. But the thing is, the original Westworld movie, there wasn't just a Westworld. That's where the main story was set. But you knew that there was a medieval world and like maybe there was a future world. There was a sequel called Future World. But in the premise in the first movie, you knew that there were like 2 or 3 different other worlds, and Westworld was one. But they had a medieval world, and I think that in that way, like you see one guy, not only you see at least one person dressed as a knight, and then somebody borrows something from a knight, and but there's 2 very cool references. Anyway, are you back? Am I back? Who's there? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw on a clip and deal with my stuff. Unless you think we should just call it a night. There aren't that many of you out there. There were 3 different worlds in the Old West world. There was medieval world, and what was the other one? Was it future world? Because that's what the next movie was. Yep, I remember that. I don't remember this. I know I saw it at the time. I don't think it was ever as good, and it hasn't stuck with me. I just know that I saw it when I was young. But I loved Westworld, and Yul Brynner was the bad guy, and when the guy gets shot, that's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen. Yeah, we need to keep this one short anyway because I'm doing 2 live things tomorrow with other people. One is, yeah, I didn't think it was, Albert. I posted on my Facebook page that tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern, I'm hosting an event for Sigma Xi. They're the Scientific Research Honor Society, and with whom I'm partnered to do these virus videos. But I'm hosting a little pizza lunch, but instead of it being a pizza lunch, it's just gonna be virtual and a Zoom thing. There's an Evite that I posted to my Facebook page. And a scientist is gonna give maybe a half-hour talk, and her specialty is, somebody pointed out a little irony here, but it's anorexia nervosa. And she's gonna speak, and then I'm gonna interview her virtually for about 15 minutes. And then when that's done, like a little later at 4 p.m. Eastern for Science Friday, I'm doing something with my neighbor across the street. She's a scientist and runs some citizen science projects. And one involves the pipes that come into our homes and the pipes inside our homes, where they enter our homes. Like I have a crawl space basement sort of thing. It's not quite a basement, it's like a crawl space. And it's looking at those pipes to see if there's steel or copper. And we're gonna be doing it live via Zoom also, but I'm gonna be down in my basement doing Zoom from a phone, from a mobile device. Interesting. And I'm only gonna be a small part of that show. The program has them talking about the project, but I'm gonna be the citizen scientist that's experiencing the other end of their project. So that's kind of fun. Is everyone okay with me? Anonymous? Oh, I'm openly racist. Did you change your name? You were a different name before. We're not into racist so much here, honestly. To be perfectly honest with you. But I also think maybe you're just dicking around. That's what it sounds like. Who are you? Where are you? What else have you got? Todd replaced Yul Brynner, that's right. Did you do the crawl space today? That's tomorrow. So you're basically cheating on us. No, you're all invited. I expect to see you in the front row. Are you kidding? We're just chopped liver, but if ordered from Food Lion, it won't be chopped liver. I ordered, it'll be chopped. It would. Mark Kaplan, did you slide that in there? Be chopped beaver? I know, Jesus. What else is it? Troll alert, I know. If you don't even get one troll, then are you even doing the internet? Honestly? Come on. Even that last estimate was about 10:30. That's still 6 minutes from now. Ooh. Oh. What else we got? Maybe we're done tonight anyway. I think I had a couple things to rant about, and there was a little bit more. David, there were a couple topics you brought up in a message to me. More about, what? You were a little vague on this. You said that someone gave you a documentary recommendation and you really liked it. It was Bathrooms Over Broadway. What is it exactly? Bathrooms Over Broadway. And air travel, electric lights, these are all technological miracles. And yes, all our plumbing, absolutely. Oh, I know. You mentioned some apps. Playing off the idea, you were extrapolating from the idea of Shazam to something like, what if it could like identify a smell? You know, there's some apps that can identify. You take a picture of, I think, tree or by their leaves. Like it can identify a lot of different leaves, and tell you what kind of tree something is. And there are a couple others that are kind of like that along that line, which is pretty interesting. Blue Cry, a short one or a long one does not matter. I'm glad I have the privilege to watch you on 3 of my devices at once. Ah, 3 of your devices. I'm moving up. Why? Ignore and report the troll. Can you hear your doorbell from where you are? Oh yeah, I'm very close to the door. It's right there. My neighbor lives right over here, and my front door is right over there. God, I'm giving away the whole layout of this place. I feel so vulnerable. When the stuff really goes down bad, now you all know. God, why don't I just give you a blueprint of my place? So stupid. Bathrooms Over Broadway's on Netflix. It's all about industrial stage shows. Okay. Industrial strength stage shows. I like it. Is that like, I needed a reference and it didn't come to me in time and it can't be funny. How do you think I got under your bed? You're under my bed? No, you're under my bed. This whole trial is under... They're here. They're here. I heard a sound. Great news, Brian. Your food line order will be arriving shortly. This delivery includes alcohol, so have your ID ready. No, it doesn't. I can't believe they didn't substitute grape juice for my wine. Instead, they just refunded. Oh my God, I can't wait to see what I got. I wonder if, when I place the order, I don't know if my receipt... I'll wait till they get it all. Oh. Okay. Do you want to listen? Or look, let's go to a clip, and I'll be right back. Here's Alan Stern talking about Pluto. So tell me about it. So Pluto, there's so much right there to unpack. Tell me what your hopes were for the mission. Like, what would have made it a success for you? And then what did you find?
Right. Well, I'm a student of the history of the exploration of our solar system. And one pattern that's very clear is that every first mission, these are the most prized missions to be a part of. First mission to Mercury, to Venus, to Mars, to Jupiter, every one of them, every time, saddled us with giant surprises that you couldn't have predicted. Mars is going to have dry river valleys, right? And Venus is going to be a toxic wasteland. Nobody knew any of that, right? And Jupiter is going to have moons with oceans and volcanoes. Who ordered that? So, connect the dots all the way out to Neptune. They're wrong every time. So I just said, look, I don't make predictions. We'll find something wonderful because the solar system always performs. And actually, I think the solar system saved the best for last, because Pluto turned out to be wildly beyond our expectations in terms of the grandeur as a planet, with soaring mountain ranges the size of the Rockies, snow caps on them, a beautiful atmosphere, twilight hazes, ice volcanoes, an ocean inside. And that's just the start of it. I could go on and on. Everywhere you look. In fact, at one point, being an acronym guy, I said, let's rename Pluto to SOFI, which stands for something for everyone. It really has turned out to be a scientific.
How big is Pluto compared to the Earth?
If you sat Pluto down over the Earth, it would just about blot out the United States.
Okay,
so it's the size of a continent.
So that's pretty small to have all this phenomenal stuff that you discovered.
And usually, you're absolutely right, Brian. Usually, the smaller the place, the less complicated. It might do one thing, but in general, worlds like the Earth and Mars way beat things the size of Pluto because it's smaller. And that's not surprising. Look at all the varied geology on the United States, but that doesn't hold a candle to all the varied geology on the whole planet. But we got to Pluto and it upended the paradigm. Here was a small place, what is it, 12 million square kilometers, like the United States, and it had more complexity per square kilometer than anything we'd ever seen, except the Earth and Mars.
Can you tell me a couple of your favorite things that you discovered that New Horizons revealed about Pluto?
Everything. You always hear that hackneyed phrase, we're going to rewrite the textbook. I mean, for Pluto, there was no textbook. We wrote it from scratch. So everything we found, just the fact that Pluto is so alive geologically, which no one expected, with moving glaciers and avalanches going on and atmospheric meteorology and snowstorms and, a convecting ice shell. It's just an amazing place. It's really a sci-fi planet.
Incredible. Is anybody out there? How long ago did it end? Oh no. Has this been? Damn. Oh, are you out there? Michael Garr, I am wearing pants because somebody was just at my door. Bathtub, he said planet. Is Pluto a planet again? You know what? Alan Stern is just one of those people who's of the mind that it is a planet. And that he would argue that it never should have been demoted, that it is a planet. Hey, Jennifer. So I was just gone because I had a grocery delivery made, and I'm so bewildered by it because I was getting these messages that they were substituting things for things, and most of them, they don't look really substituted. It's like, I don't know what, but they didn't refund the wine. They stuck some other wine in there. So here's one thing. I don't really have hand sanitizer and wipes, disinfecting wipes. This one is not gonna do. And I probably shouldn't even be touching it because I ordered some disinfectant wipe. They were Clorox disinfectant wipes that had more than 60% alcohol in them. And they've sent Nature's Promise free from. It says free from, but it doesn't say what, it just says free from. But powerful plant-based surface cleaning wipes. No synthetic dyes, afraid, no harsh chemicals. But I ordered the harsh chemicals. I specifically ordered the harsh chemicals, and I have to look at this a second because ethanol, okay, wait a sec. It does not indicate the percentage, and therefore have no idea if this is actually a useful disinfectant in regards to the virus. So what do you make of that? That's not a good substitution. That's functionally not the same product I ordered. Red wine is red wine. I probably won't notice the difference. That one I can handle. So I ordered some paper towels, and instead I got a whole bunch of napkins, regular square napkins. Close enough. Same, function. That'll work. It just looked weird to say, wow, that's a lot of napkins that you replaced my paper towels with. Questo Piccolo Kaiju's just lurking. That's what you do. You're a lurker. That's what you do, Sarah. You lurk so hard, you end up in rock videos close to heaven. I don't think they've given Pluto back its... No, they haven't. But here's the thing. Like, I don't know if you know much about the process of how that even happened, but at an astronomical meeting, essentially, a body of astronomers made this decision, and it really wasn't widely discussed with other people like planetary scientists, geologists, and they look at the idea of what's a planet and what's not a planet from a very different perspective. And so some people never agreed with that. So like on one level, technically, some humans are calling it not a planet. But there are some people, and I know that Alan Stern is one. Now, what he might have just been saying there is like, it's because look, oh, did you hear what he said about it? All the incredible things about Pluto, that it's like, if that's not a planet, like, what are you calling a planet? You know? And it has more moons than our planet does. It has a couple moons. And it has all these crazy things, and yeah. Albert says, maybe if you answer without pants, you'll get what you ordered. So you never know, and that's... Pluto might one day be a planet again, or maybe Pluto doesn't care what you call it. Did you ever think of that, Darla? If that is your real name? And if the darling is really your last name? I'm a little skeptical. So this wasn't at all clear. She told me that I could have answered her questions. I was busy, but there's a part that says, Jonna B, your Instant Cart shopper. Hi, Brian. Please check out the review tab if you can. Oh, so this whole time when they were doing this, she tells me after that this was never explained. Oh, I can't check it out now because she already is at checkout. Oh, yep, they won't let me see it now. I could only have done it while she was shopping, but once she went to checkout, I can't engage with her on that. But I guess I could have. Wouldn't that have been good content? Would it have been any worse if it was me going, no, I ordered the extra thin sliced provolone cheese, Food Lion brand. I know, extra thin or you put it back. Don't leave me here hanging. I got nothing. Maybe we should call it a night because I have some things to do to prepare for these tomorrow things. And, but I'll tell you something. The stream last night, as great as it was for so many reasons, and it stayed in sync and all this, because I went so short, it got it garnered me half as many watched hours. All along the watched hours. I've never met an actual Canadian named Darla. You could be the first. What about the string cheese? That's the weird thing. As far as I can tell, it said replaced, but I'm looking at it, and it appears to be the same thing I ordered. Maybe it's a different size. I don't understand, but I had to deal with her. She needed to see my ID. I didn't think she needed my ID, and we discussed that for a while because it's like, I don't need my ID because there is no wine because you refunded the wine. And then she goes, no, there is wine. Oh, well then, I will go and get my ID. And so then I didn't even unpack everything. I threw some stuff in the fridge, all the stuff that needed. Just all of a sudden wondered if there was anything that needed to be in the freezer. But I don't think so. It just all needed to go in the fridge. You know what's weird? I told you I was concerned that they don't have a substitute for that nut milk. That's in there. Maybe she couldn't find it at first. I don't know what it is because she got me exactly what I wanted. I'm a little confused. Pixelation? I pixelated here too. I'm good. Oh, we're down to 1,300 kilobytes per second. Kilobits. Oh, we have, okay, so this is set to this dynamic mode where if the connection is not stable, it'll ratchet down. But I wish you could put some limits on it because it's all the way down to 1,660 kilobits per second. It can't look good. What if let's make it look even worse. How's that helping? How's this helping? Tell me what's happening. Am I really clear again? Because there's not enough bit rate. Oh my God. That's something that sort of happened in the second episode of Westworld. She made a simulation slow down by taxing it. Maybe we're just doomed tonight. There's so many things. And plus, I want to go look at all my food and start eating whatever's the least healthy thing in there. Isn't that your routine? Isn't that the way you do it? We're slowly climbing, 2,200, 2,400. Oh, dropping back down, not going up steadily. I'll bet she has an interface while shopping, and instead of hitting the got it checkbox, she's mistakenly using the substitution checkbox. Maybe. She was wearing a mask. I wasn't. But right now, at this point, the odds of me being infected are so low because for the past 2 weeks, I have had so little contact with humans. And also, I saw the stats today. It's amazing how high the numbers are rising for cases in the U.S. Like, isn't it? It's like 360,000 cases in the U.S. now. And quite a few deaths. North Carolina doesn't have that many cases yet. You know what? I actually forgot. I almost did. I was looking for something else snacky, and I didn't really find snacks. But you know what? Lately, I have a little ice cream. Maybe I don't need cookies and chips this round. Maybe I'll just wait. Maybe a little later during the apocalypse I'll want. But you're right. Those chips are shelf stable for probably a few years. So why not stockpile potato chips along with your toilet paper? Hey, what did she do about that? Maybe that's what all those napkins were. They weren't a replacement for the paper towels. They were a replacement for the toilet paper I ordered. Damn you, Food Lion. Is it because I made fun of their graphics department and on their peanut? Oh, I ordered some peanuts. I did order more peanuts. I've been eating a lot of string cheese and a lot of peanuts. I don't know. What's some weird behavior that you've been doing since the day of the dawning of the virus? Tell me something in some way comparable or analogous to that. I didn't used to eat string cheese. This is totally a manifestation of this stuff. I didn't always have this addiction to string cheese. It's very recent. What does it mean? Maybe my body knows what I need to protect myself against the virus. What my body needs, I don't know what, I'm not saying this will work for you, but what my body needs is string cheese a day, keeps the virus away. I did eat an apple. My last grocery bag, I ordered a bunch of apples, so I did have an apple today. But that's not part of this is my protection. I have string cheese and what was the, oh yeah, well, that was only one bag of chips. But that's what I'm throwing against it. But wait, isn't there something else I've been doing obsessively? Oh yeah, peanuts. Lots of peanuts and lots of string cheese. I can feel the virus all over my hands. I just dealt with a human, and you know that humans are dirty creatures. They're disease-ridden creatures walking around the earth on 2 legs. It ain't natural. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad, right? Who's with me? 4 legs good, 2 legs bad? Are you with me? But anyway, I had an unmasked encounter with a masked human. It's the least safe I feel like I had dirty, unsafe sex with with the wrong person in a place that you wouldn't dream of having unsafe sex. Humans are just dirty. Disease, in fact. You know how many diseases humans carry? I don't, but I'm thinking several. Many. Case closed. Darla says, you had that ice cream with the chocolate shell and I can't find it. Oh, I haven't had it in a while. It's called Magnum. Speaking of unsafe sex. Safe sex, I mean. Magnum. If you can't get the pint, they have bars. You can get a thing with like 3 or 4 bars in it. And they're the same concept. But there's double layers of chocolate. Like the bar has something a little different. To separate it from all the ice cream bars that are basically ice cream surrounded by 1 layer of chocolate, you got your ice cream surrounded by chocolate. Then they insert some stuff, depending on the flavor you choose, like caramel. There's some caramel juicy stuff in there. And then another layer of chocolate. So 2 thin layers with some stuff in between and then the ice cream in the middle. Those are pretty good bars. Magnum, ask for them by name. From the makers of string cheese. So good, we no longer have a product to show you. And we're back. But the pint is a completely different experience, and they are really good. I don't have one now. But I tried something else, you know. What about that Halo Top? Is that good? Is that like a low-calorie version? Because those things, you know how it is, you know. Half the flat, half the flavor, half the fat, half the flavor, you know. 90% less fat says 90% less flavor. I can interpret, I can translate. I know what that means. I didn't just fall off the turnip truck and get born yesterday. I wasn't born on a turnip truck yesterday. It's a hoax. I don't know, I feel it. Most of the people in North Carolina won't get tested no matter how sick they get. Well, not my friend, not here in the Triangle where the city folk are. And you know, that's the thing. It's city versus rural to some extent. Net Reamer, you have ice cream? Where's the freezer relative to the front door? Why are you in your CAD program and need precise measurements? I have a tape measure over there. I don't have one of those laser ones. Susan says, I'd never had overnight oats until this began. Now I want them every morning. Overnight oats. Explain overnight oats. Do you soak them overnight or something? Or they're soggy? What does that even mean? What are overnight oats? I don't want my oats to be that soggy. Do I? Or do I? Albert, peanuts with substandard branding. Only the best. Denise, I have a pair of 4 legs. You handled groceries. Did you wash hands or is it all over your phone? I washed my hands with soap, but not for 23 seconds because I could tell. Because the entire show so far, I did the thing that I hate. I've had the sound on. Have you been hearing earlier? I didn't have this muted. Were you hearing all through the first part of our fireside chat? Were you hearing a weird echo or anything? Because it was there, but it might have been low. But what that meant is that I actually did hear some of Alan Stern talking, and then I think I heard us stop talking, and I just quickly, so I gave my hands a quick, oh. And then I've been touching everything, the phone, my face. I really, I did it too fast. I didn't unpack all the individual things that needed to go in the refrigerator. My head itches. I can't help it. I was just getting as much of it into my hair as I could. Susan was just talking to me on the TV. Oh, pixelated. Well, we're back up to 2600, but that's not a good enough bit rate. I didn't know when I said that you could dynamically alter the bit rate, I didn't know they were going to take it this far. But this is unacceptable. I'm supposed to have 11 megabits per second upstream. Why would I have to get throttled to less than 3,000? Now we're up to 34. Do I look clear and do I look sharp and unpixelated, baby? Now it's dropping again. So for some reason, this has meant that once again, we haven't dropped any frames, but it hasn't been good for the stream, has it? No, it hasn't. I hear what you're laying down. It's in his atmosphere, pixelated. You look like you're on the other side of a bubble glass, like the old shower doors. And you're clear again. Halo top. Yeah, that's a kind of ice cream, but I haven't even tried it yet. But it might be, I was at Trader Joe's a few weeks ago, and I tried a thing of ice cream that was a low-calorie ice cream, and even though it was peanut butter chocolate, first of all, it just seemed peanut butter. There was barely any chocolate to it. But also, just devoid of flavor. Of course it had no calories. So like, I remember friends that they made these brownies and they were 50% less fat or something. But the thing is, or 50% less calories, whatever it was, they would eat twice as much. So why don't you just get the good stuff and eat less of it? I think I like that policy a little better, because eating a lot of the crappy stuff, twice as much of the crappy stuff, not as good an experience. We don't get the good stuff here. I don't even know if Halo Top is the good stuff. Yeah, most of all, y'all in the RTP area are transplants. Well, that's true. Susan was talking to me on TV. Overnight oats are rolled oats and muesli soaked in milk overnight. And then you just eat them cold, room temperature. Rolled oats and muesli soaked in milk. In the fridge? Because the milk in the fridge? You can add stuff to them like maple syrup, brown sugar, yogurt, flaxseed, chia seeds. It's fun, all the different combinations you can do. And then in the morning to throw fruit on top. Yeah. Sounds good. Hey, Phil Freeland. What was the yes to? I don't know what was said, but thanks for tuning in. She didn't give you lice. Maybe the virus is causing the pixelation. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. Probably. Hey, Phil, if you are over there, I invite you to join. Most of this chat is happening over on my YouTube channel. Same stream. Now we're up to 36 kilobits per second. So, it is not dropping any frames, but instead it's throttling down, and you can't even limit it. Like, I wish you could set a lower limit to it. Because, I think I selected constant bit rate, but I think that's undone by this other setting that says to give it this flexibility. Clear pixels. All pixels are all clear. Oh, I'm done. I just inhaled it. I might as well just shove my fingers directly into my nose and mouth and breathe heavily. Inhale. This may be my last broadcast, or at least the beginning of my final 14 days. When I start to run out of air, when my breath is short, I'm not going to be able to do these so well. Then we'll go to Zoom and you guys can do most of the talking. And as long as I can still press those buttons, we'll go live. Until we're dead, we'll go live. Halo Top doesn't have Olestra, but I'm sure there's something in it you can riff on. Yeah, I used to have an old routine. Do you remember Olestra? It was that fake fat. Some sort of like synthetic fat or a replacement for fat that was put in some potato chips and other products. I think they were in Lay's, and it was like Olestra. And the reason I went off on it is because on the packaging of this food product, I can't even wrap my mind around this. On the actual packaging, like, there was a warning that said that this Olestra stuff may cause anal leakage. It may have said something else too, but it said it may cause anal leakage, and that was their words. I'm not making that up. I bring you fecal plume, and tonight I bring you, oh, my eye, it itches right where the receptors are that the virus wants to bind to. That's where I itch the most. Damn it. So here's a video I'd like to make. And I realized I already had this idea just recently, and I realized that the virus provides the another way to get into the subject. The subject is we're not supposed to touch our faces. You know, we're trying to be careful and we shouldn't touch our faces. But sometimes, like right now I'm so conscious of it. There are some places on my forehead, right now on my forehead, I have a huge need to touch it. Huge, right here. And now now the end of my nose. So my question though was, and it can come in from this, because what is that? Why does it want me to scratch? What is itchiness? What is it to be itchy? And why does it feel so good to scratch it? Oh, there are a few things that feel as good as getting a good scratch on a really bad itch, huh? And you know, here's a pathetic one that I used to live here with, well, let's just call her my wife. And, or ex-wife, but at the time she was my wife even. And so now she's gone, but you know what I still have instead? I don't have a wife, but I have a back scratcher. And I don't mean a person that scratches my back. I mean, replacing an entire three-dimensional human with a whole life, a backstory going back many years, not as far back as mine, but a real human with a backstory and, you know, multi-dimensional, that's all gone. A personality, a physical presence. I mean, the back scratcher does. But you know what? Some back scratchers are extra pathetic. I don't know which side I even come down on this, but you know, some back scratchers, you know, all you need to scratch your back is like a stick, but they make some of them and they make it look like a hand. So some of them, it's a pretty good little it's not life size, but a pretty good representation of a hand. You wouldn't confuse it for a human hand. It's little tiny, but it's like good detail, and it's a little hand, and you can trust your back. This is that kind that's just a stick, and then it divides at the end. It divides kind of into 4 or 5 tines, but they're not really separated. But there's just a tiny separation, enough so that there's a hint, but it doesn't look like a hand. It just looks like the wood, and it curves a little at the end, and there's some slots there, so you're like, oh my God, my nose itches. So the back scratcher is not even like a hand. It's just kind of hilarious to me. But I think that that's a great question for a scientist, unless you guys want to Google it and tell me right now. But I think it would be really fun to ask a scientist these questions about, like, is there some adaptive reason? I want the science. I was like, why am I itching right now? And there's clearly a psychological aspect, because when you become because you can be involved and your thoughts can be on other things and you don't feel it at all. And then right now I'm so self-conscious of it. Now here, I'm not even sure if this is a clean spot, but I know that I wasn't touching all that packaging with it. But you know what's happening? Here's how clever it is and how it wants to defeat me. It's not just the outside of my forehead. It's starting to be the inside of my nose that really feels the itchiest. And like how I can't quite get it. But what is itchiness? And why does it feel so good to scratch it? But I mean from an evolutionary and adaptive point of view. I want the science. So, yeah. Halo Top doesn't have Olestra, blah, blah, blah. Anal leaking. Yeah, anal leakage. No Olestra videos caused anal leakage. But you know what I was saying about that? It's just that if you're required by law, there's no way they just said, hey, what do you think we should put that it causes anal leakage? What is the marketing department? Did that come from the marketing department? Hey, you guys, should we put may cause anal leakage on the packaging? No! It was obviously required by law. There was no company that wants to put that on their food, not on any product, but certainly not on their food product. And I just think they're required by, so doesn't that say something like, in order to sell this in stores legally in the United States, you had to put on it a warning that it might cause anal leakage. Maybe you shouldn't even be in the food business. You're doing it wrong. I mean, all right. You're not wrong if you say all food leads to anal leakage. But that's not what they mean. I think it's something worse. Yeah, she has a backstory. You like that, Albert? That was a nice touch. I like that too. All of a sudden it became Westworldy, and we all live in a Philip K. Dick world. It's a very Phil Dickian world. If you ever hear me say Phil Dickian, it's Philip K. Dick. Phil Dickian. And yeah. Blue Cross says, I wouldn't mind. The tiny bit of virus in you can sense it on your hands and makes you itch because it's lonely. The Lonely Virus. Brian Mallow and the Lonely Virus. March 18th. Tommy, JY, Philippe, Seymour, and Todd. I ran out of, conservatively, there must be 1,000 potential, 100,000 potential male names. And I could even use female ones, but I'm thinking male. And I could only come up with, and on the spot, I couldn't come up with any. Eric, I have to just go for neighbor. Greg, across the street. But those aren't, I want Philippe. Seymour was a good one. Seymour. Alberto. Shecky Mallow strikes again. Lawrence. Yeah, Lawrence was one of them. And, I watched part of that, and some of that could maybe be a standalone clip, but it's a little weird. It's mostly me just cracking up at this idea, and it's mocking Styx. See, it's not my normal sense of humor in a way. I mean, I do think it's really funny, but I was a fan of half those guys. And I don't really want to be mocking them. And then it was so funny when one of you said that some of these guys have been in the band 20 years or something. It's like, whoa, where did the time go, Albert? Where did the time go? Weren't we just at Johnston Junior High, which is named for a Confederate general? Oh, I think they renamed it. It's not Johnston Junior High anymore, is it? You know what? Oh my God. What's the name? There's a place in Texas, I think, that's like that, like Johnson Junior High, and it's named after a Confederate. So they had a current mayor. What town is this, Albert? And they said, oh no, okay, so now the name of the town or whatever, or county, is referring to this guy who's the current mayor of a town. Does that ring a bell? Billy Bucksbaum told me about this. And then I had a joke for it, but I can't imagine what the first thing was. Okay, let's see what you got there. Oh, wait, we got something. Oh yeah, how about I ask a psychiatrist why I feel so itchy? Is there a psychiatrist in the house? An itch, also known as pruritus, is a general sensation arising from the irritation of skin cells or nerve cells associated with the skin. An itching sensation of the skin arises due to stimulation of receptors, itch, sensing nerve endings by mechanical, thermal, or chemical mediators. All right then, Denise, thanks. NetReamer, I would have loved to be in the anal leakage meeting. I wonder what phrases failed. Yeah. They're like, you have to put this. It's like, oh, we can't write that. At first, the FDA was saying, you have to put on there, we require this specific language. Eating this product might give you the shits. And Philip Morris was like, oh, come on now. I feel like Philip Morris probably made Olestra. I could be wrong, but it would fit in with most of their products. And they're like, no, you have to put it, might give you the shits. That's what the law says. And they're like, come, would you accept anal leakage? Or anal leakage was a compromise. You go, how about it might make your tummy hurt? No, that is not good enough. And they met halfway at anal leakage. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Questo Piccolo Kaiju says, I saw a picture of a bookseller price sticker abbreviating the name of the book and the author, so it read, Do Androids Dream of Dick? Yeah, that meme has been going around a while. I have seen that one. I guess, is that a meme? But I've definitely, Do Androids Dream of, and then the author's name was there, Dick. Julio, exactly. Thank you, Albert. Thanks. You provided one more male name. Thank you. I appreciate that. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Mark, on Fox now, I Heart at Home concerts. With who? With Julio? LOL Questo, yeah. That is funny, though. Elton John, Alicia Keys, and Dave Grohl. Oh, that's on now? That's already aired. Is it just getting out to you in Arizona? I thought that already aired. Or, maybe I just saw it advertised, and is it live or something right now? Albert, they're top half or bottom half? Jacques? Marcy Cohen, Meyerland Performing and Visual Arts Middle is the new name. Oh, there you go. Marcy, thanks. Marcy, you didn't go to Johnston, though, did you? You went to a different... You didn't go to the Johnston, did you? Meyerland Performing and Visual Arts Middle School instead of Albert Sidney Johnston, who was a Confederate. But when we were in junior high, I know you kids might call it middle school now, but we called it junior high. There was high school and there was junior high school. Why didn't they call it high school junior? Junior high. It was high school junior, high school, comma, junior. Mallow, comma, Brian. Johnston, comma, Albert Sidney. Questo Piccolo Kaiju, the psychiatrist, says, you're itchy because of that bed bug infestation. Why do you need my psychiatric opinion? Kimberly, are you just joining us? Thanks for coming on. Denise uses big words, Albert. She was probably riffing all that. I know, we're all itchy. Denise uses Google. Fast typing in Google makes me look moderately intelligent, said Albert. Where did you copy that sentence from? Who was the troll? Catching up, I lost track of time. Oh, just a guy that repeated a few times. He said he was racist, and is he welcome here? So, yeah. I've never, at this point, let's see. We do have to wrap it up. I can't stay up all night. I have these other things that I'm required to do tomorrow. That doesn't always happen, but that's what's happening. But thanks for tuning in, Marcy. Oh. What is this? Oh, sure enough, you're not lying. Albert sent me a Google Earth image of Meyerland that says Meyerland Performing and Visual Arts Middle School. Oh, it's not even, oh my God! Not only did they strip it of Johnston's name, they stripped it of junior high and renamed it a middle school. That's going a little too far. Oh, I itch. Is this protection enough? Oh, I'm a goner. Let's start the countdown. 14 days max until I'm symptomatic. Oh, good vibes. Oh man, I missed all the fun. There was some fun. I had some groceries delivered. There was an issue with replacing some of the products. I ordered some Clorox and disinfecting wipes that had more than 60% alcohol in them. And they brought me some like Nature's Way, no harsh chemicals at all, including alcohol. Nothing in this product will hurt anything. Well, I specifically ordered that product to hurt one thing at least. Best of luck with tomorrow's endeavors. God. Yeah. But look, we've done an hour and a half. We fulfilled our contractual obligation. There's been weird pixelation. I mean, the range of emotions we have felt. Can we all admit? Does anyone have any new silver linings? Anything positive going on? I have an addiction to string cheese and peanuts. Which, when you consider the spectrum of potential addictions, could be worse. It's not the worst thing. Hey, I'm gonna be prepping you to see a Netflix comedy special that comes out next month. And I haven't seen it, but I love the man. His name is Bob Rubin, and he's a hilarious comic. He used to be from the Bay Area, and now he's down in the LA area. And, oh my God, he's an old school San Francisco comic. Used to hang out like in the times when lots of people started in San Francisco, like Robin Williams, and spent time there, and other people. Well, now it's itchy there, inside my nose, parts I cannot mention. In fact, if I start talking about that, then I genuinely will start itching. I'm itching behind one of my knees right now. That area, that moist area, it's itching behind my knees. I can scratch that though. Wipe off some virus, just get it on my pants down there. Anyway, Bob Rubin is going to have his first Netflix special. It comes out sometime next month, and I may get you to follow him on some social media or something, or just look forward to. He has one of the weirdest senses of humor. I love it so much. So I can't wait to see it. So that name will be coming up again, Bob Rubin. Order over Lear and pour in it, then you'll have... Order Everclear and pour it in, and then you'll have your disinfectant. Comedy, perk, will tequila work? It depends what you're asking. Will it work for what? I think if you drink enough tequila, it'll work. Hydrogen peroxide, but not on clothes. Unless you want to change the color and the structural integrity of them. Any Trump reports? Did anything happen that... I think I gathered that he said some other dumb stuff today. Is that even possible? Could that be a thing? What a surprise that would be. Oh, this is what I have on my screen. It looks kind of bright there, but it's the moon. Did you see the moon tonight? I don't know if it's quite full, but it's quite full. It's fairly full, semi-full. It's almost full. It's nearly full. If not full, it will be full soon. Oh. You got anything? He's extra stupid today. I remember Bob Rubin. It's been many years since I've heard him. Does he still go on about the size of Buddy Ebsen's head? I don't know. Netreamer, that I think is very early Bob Rubin. But here's the thing. He would do these such surreal... He didn't have very many jokes that are easy to remember and repeat because he had these bizarre, surreal ramblings that were so beautiful and entertaining and weird. But I do remember one or two, but so these aren't the most representative because that's more representative. But all I can remember are two simple little jokes like, if it weren't for me, these clothes would be in a pile right there. And then the other one, and again, it's another short one, doesn't represent his act that well, except a little weird sense of humor. He goes, I got pulled over by the, let me see, make sure I remember the punchline. Okay. He goes, talking about being in LA, and he goes, I got pulled over by the Hollywood police. Put down your hopes and step away from your dream. The full moon is tomorrow. Well, I knew it was close, David. I like having you guys nearby to answer all my questions. Say something dumb? Surely not on a Monday. The full moon is the 8th? Oh, well, could be the 8th. Today's the 6th. Tomorrow, 7th, 8th. It'll be pretty full. Full on Wednesday for Passover. The moon is in the 6th house, and Jupiter aligns with Todd. This is the age of Nefarious, the president. I don't even think he's nefarious. He's calling them science companies rather than drug companies. Oh, I saw a reference to that. What did that mean? He was like, these science companies are going to come up with a drug. I saw a reference to it, but I didn't get it. I'm trying to avoid some news, but I did look up the stats. I was curious. So, oh, that's not what it is. Oh, Worldometer. Oh, but in English. Oh, that is not it. Where's the site? Do you know the stats? It is. Oh, it's Worldometers. There've been over 1,346,000. It actually says 1,346,974 cases. What if I refresh? No, still 74,000 deaths. This is worldwide. But viewing by country, we are kicking butt. We are number one by so much. Spain is in second place with 136,000 cases. We have 367. We have 200. We are more than double our next competitor. It's just like our military might. We're always number one, and it's always by a long way. Probably all these other countries have health care for everyone. Not us. That's bullshit. That's social communism. That's socio-communism. You libtards. What if this program gets banned because the Shazam of live streaming audio interpretation knows that I just said that word? But what they don't know is sarcasm. That's where humans defeated AI. It was their inability to understand sarcasm. That's how we defeated them. I just want you to remember this. I'm recording this. I'm telling you now. When you need this information, it was their lack of understanding and appreciating sarcasm that was the key to our survival. Don't forget, I could be killed just for telling you. So in the USA, though, let us take a look. Where is everybody? New York and New Jersey. New York is by far on the top, 130,000 cases, 41 at New Jersey. Then it's Michigan and then California, so look out. Louisiana, Massachusetts, Florida, Pennsylvania, Illinois. Watch out, Bill. Washington, Texas, Georgia, Connecticut, Colorado. A whole bunch until you get down to North Carolina. We've only had 3,000 cases, but you're right, maybe we haven't. Maybe I'm living some foolish lie thinking we're safe when they just haven't done any testing. But total deaths in North Carolina, 48. Of course, there could be other deaths that people just think they got sick and died and they never got diagnosed. But no new deaths, but we have 48 cases in the state. New Hampshire only has 9. Oh my God. Oh, the Virgin Islands only has 1. Guam has 4. Alaska has 6. North Dakota has 3. South Dakota has 4. I think that's 7 for the Dakotas. You don't get to split your state up and act like you get twice as much representation in Congress and half as many deaths. No. We see what you're doing North and South Dakota, and it's bullshit. You're Dakota. Suddenly you get 2 stars on the flag. It's bullshit. Stop it. What about Virginia and West Virginia, though? Grohl is playing My Hero acoustic. I don't know that many Dave Grohl songs, actually. Is that one of his songs? Coronavirus cases. Yep. Oh, there's the stats. Yeah, I just pulled them up. Copy paste didn't work that well. But yeah, I just said some of those. Woo. I love libtards. You relate to sarcasm and puns. Hey, Bill, be careful. Illinois is up there. Illinois is one of those states. You've got some cases. Be careful. You're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th with 12,262 cases. Bill, don't make it 12,263. Mark says Johnny 5 knew he was alive when he laughed at a joke. Colorado. What about Colorado, Denise? Colorado is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states down with only 5,172 cases, Denise. Kimberly says, I love you, Denise. You get me. Relating to sarcasm. Susan just recorded this video and placed it in a Roomba. Help me, science comedian. You are our only hope. Just remember, just like in Blade Runner, the replicants are so like human, more human than human, you might say. But they don't have empathy. They do not have empathy. And they can't even be bothered to fake it. Empathy is for humans, but apparently not all humans, and yeah, you know who we're talking about. Yeah, sorry, Bill. Oh, shit, Bill. That's okay. I just picked it up. I received some groceries earlier in this live stream, and I didn't wash my hands for 23 seconds, and I was in a hurry, and I'm itching everywhere, and I'm almost surely, and I feel the virus crawling through my nasal passages right now on the way to infecting my lungs. So we each have about 14 days. So this will be real fun last 2 weeks. It'll be fun. Let's see how many hours we can do in 2 weeks. But is my cat riding the Roomba, says Susan. But is my cat riding? Of course your cat would be riding the Roomba. Cats ride Roombas. Cats ride for free. Kids drink for free. How come you never see that one? It's always kids eat for free. Just one time you want it to be kids drink for free. Come on in, sit down, kid. Give him a shot. All right. Let's call it a night, because I really do have to prepare for my 2 things tomorrow. And one's at 12:30. That doesn't give me much time to get ready, and I have to get ready for the other one, and there's not much time in between. So 2 back-to-back things that you could join me for. I only put the info for one on my page. 12:30 Eastern Time. Look at it for Science Friday. Maybe I can post that tonight. It's something about, it's a Science Friday Citizen Science live webcast thing. SciStarter, Citizen Science, about the water, tap the, damn it, the project's called something about tap, and because it's about our water and our tap water. Anyway, 12:30 Eastern, Science Friday, live stream thingy, SciStarter and Citizen Science. You can find it. You're smart people. You can find it with that much information. And I should post it later to my Facebook. But even if I don't, you should be able to find it. If anyone can, you can. You know, it's possible I could move closer to the camera and work on this light. I'm a little distracted by the bright lights and the 2 red lights that I wanted to really, I thought it was going to be so much more red than it is. It's not significant enough to me. I am not satisfied. Did they replace my red light with something by another manufacturer? Night called it, tomorrow is Tuesday. Tomorrow is Tuesday. It's just another day. Do, 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 do. It's just another day. And then, oh no, that's not what's happening at 12:30. All of that I said is happening at 4 p.m. Eastern. And what's colored lights can hypnotize. Shining star? Albert? Shining star? For you to see? YouTube life can truly be. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. Shazam that, biatch. All right, Darla. I know it's getting late there on the West Coast. It must be already 8:25. Be safe. If Darla's leaving, let's call it a night. No, we were headed out the door anyway. I want to believe. So all of that I was saying, that's the thing I'm doing at 4 o'clock Eastern. 12:30 is the Sigma Xi thing that I already posted to my Facebook page. A talk by a scientist about anorexia nervosa, followed by about a 15-minute. So that's the thing. I got to prepare a little for this. I'm going to watch her talk, and that'll give me some ideas for questions. But I want to read up on her bio, and then that's probably what I'll mostly do. I'll be observing her giving her talk, and then for about 15 minutes we'll talk, and I'll ask her some questions. So tune in. That'll be at Crowd the Tap. Thank you, Denise. And that's a reference to citizen science because it's crowdsourcing, getting people to gather some data. Because the thing is, you know, our infrastructure, hey, Albert and NetReamer, if you're still out there, we were talking about how old the infrastructure is and that, like, for instance, programming-wise and the COBOL programming language. Similarly, it's so inconsistent across the country, the pipes that bring water into our homes. Some of them had lead, and so they work so hard to make the water clean, but sometimes along the way to your house, it maybe has gone through lead pipes. And I'm not even sure if it can pick up the lead from that or not, because there's some of it definitely has this lining, but does that lining break down? So this project is related to that, but we're only looking at it only is feasible for them to have citizen scientists like me and you. You can sign up for this and then go find where the pipes are coming into your house. In my case, it's down in this crawl space, and let them know whether, and if they're magnetic or not, then they're steel versus copper, minor copper. So anyway, kind of interesting. April 8th. Which one says April 8th? It's got to be. Now you're freaking me out. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow. But now let me check. Hold on. It was supposed to be March 31st, but it had to get postponed. Here's the Eventbrite listing. That would be so weird. No. What says April 8th? Because I just clicked on the Eventbrite listing and it says Tuesday, April 7th at 12:30 Eastern. Right? But anyway, that's the one that's posted on my site. Crowd the Tap is also, if it says that, what does it say is April 8th? That's, they're both, it's definitely tomorrow, because that one, Karen and I discussed it, and we had emails today with the NPR person. So they're both tomorrow. Maybe Crowd the Tap has something else going on April 8th, but tomorrow we're doing this NPR thing. So I don't know what's not completely decisive, but I am doing it tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in. We're just shy of 2 hours. That's pretty good. We're at a good bit rate. Let's go out on a good bit rate. That's all I ask. That's all I want out of life. I just want to go out at a high bit rate. Please don't let me just eke out my final days at like 1100 kilobits per second. Please don't let that be my destiny. I want to go out in HD. I don't even want 720p. It's got to be 1080. Give it to me. I don't need 4K. just give me 1080p on my last day. Little poetry to wind up the night. A little improvisation. Hey, Regina, once again. Regina, I gotta go. But I thought of you just a few minutes ago because I said, it's just another day. Do, 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 do. And then I thought, Paul McCartney, your Uncle Bucky, Regina. And those were the thoughts that went through my head just 10 minutes ago. But, Body Lang. You're my 1080p, baby. Not your 4K? Who's your 4K? You're not my real mom. Language. Yeah. Look at me now, Ma. 1080p, 4K. 4K, but it's spherical. It's spherical image, and that 4K doesn't really help. It's still kind of low res when you spread it over the whole sphere. Well, you get what you pay for. You people, you get what you pay for. How much was this show? It's not even a show. How much was it? That's right. Remind me. But, let's close that. Oh, that's what that is. Say goodnight, Brian. Thanks, Albert. You guys have been great. And, I'm sure I'll be back tomorrow, and maybe I will have some adventures tomorrow. But it's so weird. I'm involved in two sort of social things, doing them completely by myself. One I'll be doing right here, and the other from my phone underneath here. Not underneath exactly here, over there. You don't need the entire blueprints. All right, you guys, good night, be safe, and all of that stuff. Night, Susan, Denise, Michael Krieger. You know what? There is no cup. Not only I'm not drinking anything, and it's not even because I finished it. I'll leave you with a joke from, here's an old comic friend of mine. And for you Mitch Hedberg fans, I met Chard Hogan. Chard, like, it was kind of short for Richard. Chard Hogan, I met when I was living in Los Angeles, and Mitch was living in Los Angeles. And one of his great old buddies, Chard Hogan, old comedy friend, they started together. They had a lot of adventures together. And he was a super funny guy and really good at improv and very funny. We shot some video stuff together, the three of us. Really goofy, weird Mitch sense of humor stuff. But Mitch, Chard was a Christian comic. And I don't remember much of his act. He's very funny. I remember off stage, I'm saying that he was just hilarious. And in his act, there's just one joke that I remember that I loved. And it was about weird things people say to you when you're a Christian. And he goes like, they'll go, do Christians drink? And he said, no, Christians obtain all the fluids they need from the liquids they drink. God damn it. I took the Lord's name in vain while I quoted a Christian comic. Do Christians drink? And he goes, no, Christians obtain all the fluids we need from the foods we eat. Something like that. It was probably slightly more eloquent, but it was just a smart-ass response. It's basically a play on words. A little bit of a pun, because when they said drink, they meant alcohol, you jackass. But Chard, he's not a jackass. Super nice guy and super funny. And that joke was funnier when he told it. So, yeah, I miss him. So, thanks. I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, everyone, for being here with me. Thanks, Blue. Night, everybody. And Mike Krieger, sorry, I started early and I'm wrapping up early, but we'll see you again soon. Maybe tomorrow night, right here